Well, everybody ultimately is limited in what they know and don't know. And when you reach the edge of what you know and what you don't know, you have to assume something to be real and therefore true that you don't know. And it's not a matter of if you do it, it's how you do it and whether your assumptions are true. And I use the power of assumptions to unpack issues, to discern what's true and what's not in the classroom and in the media and the culture, and connect truth from God and the Bible to those real world things so that people aren't fooled by what the professors tell them in the classroom or by what you hear on in the news or in television shows or whatever. You can actually figure things out for yourself.
So basically it sounds like to me what we have is a knowledge gap. And from a biblical perspective, there's a certain amount of knowledge of the scriptures that we have, and we try to apply that to this great big wide world.
Yes.
And there's a gap between our limited biblical knowledge and the knowledge of this world, and so that's where the assumptions come in, if I can say it like that.
Yes. The assumptions are essentially my tool. I'm focusing on not complex arguments and sophisticated ideologies. I mean, I have postgraduate degrees and all of that, but I'm the son of a truck driver. I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And most people haven't got the time for that. They don't have the ability to do that. But how can somebody discern truth for themselves in a simple, reliable way? And what I've figured out is how to use the assumptions underneath a message. So why is it that a person buys a particular position on gun control? Why does somebody believe a certain thing about evolution? Why does somebody believe a certain thing about abortion or feminism or whatever it is? Because they have actually already assumed certain things to be real and true that makes that position possible. So I'm not looking at the argument itself, but the assumptions that makes the argument possible.
So we look at, and we use this phrase all the time, critical thinking.
Yes.
And we have to develop critical thinking skills. And you actually, as I understand it, have developed a methodology through which people can really improve in that arena of critical thinking.
Yes.
So take us through, if you would, the process through which you've actually developed this way of approaching information.
Of course. Well, we've developed a whole series of courses to train people at learntodiscern.com. Learntodiscern.com/faith radio for your audience will actually give them some special opportunities with the courses that we have. There's a simple process called the critical assumptions test that I've developed. And
the cat.
The cat.
C-A-T. The cat. Remember that, the cat.
So you give things a CAT scan. you give the things that you read a CAT scan, the things that you watch, like TV shows and movies, a CAT scan, or the things you listen to, whether it's a lecture in the classroom, something on talk radio, or just a conversation with a friend. You're encountering a message. How do I know whether it's true or not, and whether it matches who God is and the truth in His Word or not? And most people are not sophisticated intellectuals and don't know how to decode those things, but I figured out a simple method that allows an 8th grader to decode these things for themselves. They don't have to be told what's true. They'll know how to figure it out for themselves. And I automated the process of the critical assumptions test with a phone app where you can carry it with you and you can practice it any time that you want to continue to develop your discernment skill. And with a little practice, you can actually get at the underlying assumptions and therefore determine whether a message is true or not in 30 seconds.
Wow.
Which is an amazing development.